What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title that we got to play a very limited sandbox demo of about... God, I don't even know how long ago that was. It had to be a while. It might have even been during coronavirus, to be honest. It was a hot minute ago. All right, a little title called Outbreak Island. This is a game where you are a lone journalist headed to an island to find your dad who invented some kind of magic beam that shoots up into the sky and makes zombies really want to punch you in the face. Today, we're going to be taking a look at it for, I don't know, however long it feels like it takes before I feel like I get a good handle on the game, thus to give you my early access impressions and help you decide whether or not you wanted to buy this title for yourself. If after watching this you did indeed want to get Outbreak Island, I got a link for you down below in the description. You can check that out there. You can also find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links that are being all sexy, flexy, and oiled up down there just in case you wanted to slide your finger across them. But let's go ahead and start off a new game, shall we? And into the game world we go. This game does have an opening cinematic, but the entire thing is generated by AI, and so I decided to just omit the whole thing out. I did do a deep dive as to whether or not the AI assets going into this game, which is actually kind of weird for Hype Train. Hype Train usually, as a publisher, doesn't have any AI assets in anything that they do, but I did do a deep dive to figure out whether or not the AI assets in the game were like a permanent installation or if they're one of those things that's going to be replaced later on down the early access. The latter seems to be the case. The developers said that they're just placeholders for right now, and so it's kind of one of those gray areas where I was like, all right, shrug, I'll cover the game and check it out despite that, so long as you stick to it and you actually remove that stuff further on down the road. I see Dad's magic beam way up in the sky, so using the deductive powers of logic, I can only guess that he's off in that direction. Oh, I have legs, look at that, dude. Okay, so this is one of those FPSs where I can actually check on the status of my legs from time to time and just make sure that they still exist. I don't like it in FPSs when I'm just like a magic set of floating guns in a hand up in the air. I don't know, dude. I always like it when I've got leggies. I saw that in Left 4 Dead for the first time, and I was like, yep, I like having legs. When I look down, I see my legs, so when my character looks down, he should also see his legs. Good addition. Let's go ahead and we'll follow this trail. Uh-oh, there's a dead guy over here. What's up, dead guy? Dead guy with a big old mall ninja looking machete. Okay, can I have that machete? Sick. All right, well, I've got a machete now, so if I need to swack anything, at least I've got some means of self-defense. We also have the beam operates in two distinct phases, day and night cycles, each with unique effects. During the night, the beam is activated, providing immense power to the island, but at a high cost. The intense radiation causes unpredictable mutations in living organisms and disrupts natural behaviors. When the sun rises, the beam is deactivated, the power is cut off, leaving people to rely on manual tools and alternative energy sources. Okay, that might be sort of an interesting thing. It's like at night you've got electricity and all of your furniture and whatnot works all on its own. But during the daytime, you've actually got to go back to caveman times and just like Cro-Magnon it up. Cool. It does look like there's a Firewatch station up here. I think we should probably investigate that. It looks like we've also got actually a very large water storage over here. Looks like there's some boxes and things that we can search as well. We've got gunpowder and a med kit. I like both of those things. Both of those things imply to me that I'm going to be well armed. We've also got a metal bar and 10 pistol ammo inside the crate on that side. Is anything else around here either breakable or otherwise like usable? I suppose I should probably, like, drink from the water storage, too, right? We do have those pesky little meters down in the bottom left-hand corner. The food one especially looks like it's on a little bit of a slide, walking up a hill. Exhausting, man. I just can't make it up a hill without my 43,000 calories a day. All right, Firewatch Station, what you got for me over here? What are we feeling? What are we excited about? We've got ourselves, I think, a box of bullets. A handful of bullets just loose and laying around. We've got some kind of big, gnarly, like, 357 Magnum-looking thing right here. Let's see what the gunshot sounds like. Okay, a little bit snappy, to be honest. Almost sounds like a 22 or something. Definitely not like the pacoom that I was expecting to hear from a gun of this size. There's a toy on that side. I will pick it up just in the off chance that I need to salvage it or something later on down the line. What's in this crate? We've got some metal components, and we've got ourselves an energy drink. All right. Something's wrong. People have started disappearing, strange natural anomalies are occurring, and many residents report seeing bizarre creatures at night. Today I saw one myself. At first I froze staring at it, but then it charged towards me. I barely managed to hide. Okay, well, we've got a bed over there that we can sleep inside of. Do we actually have like a tiredness meter or anything that I need to be concerned about? Can of meat right there, definitely take that. We've got ourselves a battery and what looks like a piece of nylon. Okay, I think that's just about everything in the tower, so I think back down to the lower level we go. And then we've got ourselves a big yellow marker. I'm just going to wander over there and I'll cut you guys back in if anything interesting happens. On a big old descent down the mountain right now. It looks like we've got some kind of like, I think it says diner. I don't know. I'm having trouble reading the words backwards. But it looks like some kind of place we may be able to top up our food supply. For battles, all right. Yep, that's fine. We've got upgrade benches and things we can play around with too. Can I assign this stuff to like hotkeys? It looks like we just hot swap with the Q key, so I suppose that'll have to work for right now. I do prefer to put everything on hot. What the hell is that? What are you? I mean, you're extra strength dead now. I can't loot you. You're the worst type of enemy. The type of enemy that drops nothing. I expected to see a big handful of greens, purples, and blues, man. I'm trying to be epic out here. Let's clear the exterior first and just kind of see how that goes. I believe they're aware of me. I do like that reload animation. That looks okay. I'm going to take a rough guess. Are these like zombies? What are these right here? Definitely some kind of thing, but they dissipate into just like a puff of smoke after they die. Little bit unnerving. I've only got 16 rounds left, and I'm not super on board with having to fight these guys in melee. Let's loot the diner real fast. We'll see if any of the patrons ended up having like a couple rounds of ammo on them. I don't think this is going to be the kind of place where we're going to run into just an absolute bumper crop of ammunition, but it might be worth looking. A cooking station. Okay, so we can cook food on the grill. Gotcha, but we're going to need tools in order to do that, yes? So we can make berries, but we need a kettle. It looks like we need to find cooking tools. Okay, so seeing as we're inside of a kitchen right now, might not be the worst place to actually lock down a decent supply of utensils. We do have water right there, though, which is good. Definitely going to need water if we're going to be surviving out here long term. You don't want the mustard bottle? I love mustard. There's one thing about me for certain. If there's mustard sitting around and I'm about to set up a base in a survival type situation, you better believe I'm going to take the mustard with me, dude. I put mustard on everything. Spicy, Dijon, gray poopin'. I don't care, dude. All the mustard. There is no such thing as too much mustard. When I get like a Polish dog, dude, I'm like, well, just give me mustard with a side of Polish dog. You know what I mean? We got knowledge points. Okay. That one's down too. It seems like they get dropped pretty easy by a couple of shots. Oh, there's a truck over here. Is there anything in the truck? Nice, dude. Item storage. We've got first aid kits and all kinds of things inside of here. So when it comes to storage, is there going to be a reason for me to do this? Like, am I limited on the amount of stuff that I can carry? Let's find out. Yes, we are. We're actually weight limited and I think slot limited. So the truck is going to be a very, very useful utility. And it looks like it's fully fueled up, which will be a nice little boon too. I don't want to load up in the truck until we know that we're out of here. So that's a vehicle respawn station. Okay, commit that to memory real fast because dollars to donuts, I'm probably going to lose my truck at some point. Do I get any kind of like dodge or anything while fighting these guys? I mean, he doesn't seem particularly aggressive. Like, it didn't seem like he was coming at me altogether that hard. Can I take that guy's bullet vest? I feel like we should have a bullet vest, some kind of mitigation. I mean, then again, we're going up against stuff that's using, like, tooth and claw. And so, oh, there's a ladder over here. Oh, I have to build said ladder. Okay. And we've got radish seeds on that side for a little bit of the old Farmy Boy Stardew Valley business. Let's head inside of here. It's inside the pet carrier. Nothing inside the pet carrier. However, we do have a vehicle respawn kit. Okay. A little conceptualization right there. What's on the other side with this dot? We got another water bottle, and it looks like... Is that lootable? What is that right there? A paint can. We're definitely going to be doing some salvaging, man. Anytime there's paint cans in a video game, you're always going to be salvaging. Let's check behind the counter real quick, see if the owner had anything hidden up under the counter just in case of trouble. Doesn't look like it, so the man must have just been confident that nothing was going to happen out here. We've got a bathroom back here. Nothing to loot from the bathroom. But hey, let's load up in the truck, get ourselves on the road, and see if we can find our way to Dad's giant ridiculous laser beam. Into the truck we go, and off, and away we ride. I do need to figure out, are there like headlights or anything that I can turn on here? I don't see a headlight button, but then again, it does look like we can swap to a third-person camera, though, which is good. I very much prefer driving inside of a third-person camera. Let's head towards the giant, shrieking eldritch light in the sky. Our car seems to be reasonably fuel efficient. I've been driving, I've gone about 1 kilometer, and the meter hasn't really moved at all. And so that's good. I am going to try those an auto repair shop around. I mean, everything is lasered off right now. Like, there's like invisible walls on everything, keeping me from exploring or doing anything other than just going straight to the objective. So it doesn't really matter that I discovered that thing. We do have a map, and the map does have functionalities like the ability to place notes and pins and stuff like that, which is definitely a feature that I appreciate. I like having very customizable maps. I mean, after all, I did go to school for 4 to 5 years just to learn how to make topographical maps and survey maps. And so I like having lots and lots of map functionality. So the farm awaits rest and recharge. Okay, but is this like a haunted house type situation? You know what I mean? Like, has this place been occupado in a reasonable amount of time? What's that key go to? Error cannot be used right now. Okay, let's just follow the tutorial instructions then, and then we'll go to sleep. I found a bed, so, like, let's send it. Next morning, we're actually going to get a little bit of daylight in our lives. Nice, dude. Okay. I don't like it when games are, like, dark and dreary all the time. I do like it when there's some kind of, like, day cycle. I took a brief look around the house here first thing in the morning, and it looks like we're actually going to be able to fix up and repair a lot of this stuff. So as we cruise around, there's all kinds of features and things around that just need to be repaired and renovated. So apparently there's going to be like a little bit of a house flipper vibe going on too, where you're actually like piecing this place back together and turning it into a home. The key's still on the table over here, but it wants me to go out this way. What does that journal entry say? So unlocking the path. Search around the property, find the key to the basement. Okay, I think I know where the key to the basement is. Boom, baby. We got the key to the basement. Let's check the basement and see what our mad scientist dad was getting up to with his Frankenstein experiments. All right, the basement was on the inside of the house. I was thinking like cellar. Looks like down here we've got ourselves like a Jenny that we can turn on and off. It looks like we've actually got ourselves an actual forge over here too. Apparently Dad was quite the Renaissance man down here. I did a little bit of light cleaning around the property, just picking up planks and like anything else that might be useful. Some total later on inside the game, but by and large, nothing too interesting happened. We do have scrap metal, so like if I put that inside of there, and then we just turn that on. It's an electric smelter? Oh, nice, dude. Hell yeah. Okay. I figured I was going to have to find, like, coal or something else in order to make it work. While cruising around the property, Dad wanted me to go check out, like, an auto station or something that's, like, down the street. So I figure we'll give that a look in a little bit, too. I do have a fuel can right there. What does that hold? 8 liters? Okay, I'll just keep the fuel can right there so I don't have to worry about it for right now. Otherwise, I'll probably lose the damn thing like an idiot later on down the line. I got quite a bit of smelting left to do. All my scrap's smelted, so I think we can get away with just turning off the Jenny for right now. No pour animation right there. That is one thing that I have noticed, is that there doesn't really seem to be like pouring animations, eating animations. Hopefully all those things are forthcoming, because I do think that those things are very, very important for like an immersive survival sandbox that feels like a world that you're living inside of and really helps you get immersed. But for now, early access being what it is, I can only express that I would like to see those things added, but I don't know when they will be. I'm just going to load things up in my car. I don't know if my car has like infinite storage, but you know what? Life will be quite a bit easier if I just have things loaded up inside the truck. It looks like the gas station that they want me to go to is pretty far off that way. They want me to cut some logs, huh? Okay. Do I not have like a sawmill on the I guess that might be a tall ask. A sawmill is kind of a very specific facility. Well, first things first, there's a point of interest to the south of us, and then there's also the auto body repair shop that Dad wanted me to check out for one reason or another. I figured we just load up in the truck and head that direction. I don't see much reason to foot it if we don't have to. So let's load up and get that truck bed all closed off right there so that we're not looking sloppy, messing up our aerodynamics, and then we'll flip around and head that way. All right, automotive repair shop, what you got waiting for me? Can there be bad guys during the daytime? I have questions about these things. Looks like they've got it padlocked up. I don't know if I can just, like, Shoot it. Nope. Shooting it's not going to work. I think we're going to have to find the way in the hard way. Looks like we've got like a sewer manhole down here where the second I saw it up on top of like a concrete paddock, I figured there would probably be some kind of sewer access. Either way, if anybody's up to get some doo-doo water in between your toes, man, I am the doo-doo water supplier right now. I've got you covered on that front. All the doo-doo water you could ever desire. How bad is fall damage in this game? Not that bad. We're good. Crate, what you got for me? We got some shotgun ammo and some cotton wool. Okay. We got like some berries and some metal components. All right. Oh, God. Hopefully we don't have like any open window. This place smells like staph infection. It's the worst. I don't want to be in here anymore. Ugh. All this standing water. Probably mosquitoes everywhere. Just, damn it. That was a desk pop. That was my bad. That was firearm safety not being properly observed. But yeah, dude, mosquitoes just waiting around to siphon off my blood. I don't know what's going on down here, but frankly, I am not on board with it. We're going to need more planks. I definitely saw like repairing stuff around the farm required a lot of planks. So if I see them sitting around, I'm absolutely going to grab them. It also looks like there was a leftward path over here. Probably what I was supposed to take. It's in here with us. I don't know what it is. I don't have a flashlight, but it's in here with us. And it's gots to die. Fill them up with as many rounds as I can. We got anything lootable? Yeah, give me that plank right there. What you got over on this side? We got bandages and some gunpowder. Hopefully, I can manufacture some more ammo for myself. And that looks like the way out. And that culvert right there looks like it just leads out to another location. Okay. Grab a little bit of that. Yep, definitely want the planks. And since there wasn't anything down the other culvert right there, I figured we just climb up and out of here. And let's go get this gate unlocked so I don't have to do this the hard way anymore. There we go. We're getting knowledge points for all this, too. Inside of our base, it appeared to me as though there's like a level up station basically where as you discover new locations and as you find data logs and things of that nature, you basically get the game's equivalent of XP, which you can then spend on perks that like increase your stamina, increase your HP, a bunch of other little things listed up inside of there. What am I supposed to be doing here? I don't know if I'm supposed to pull the truck inside the auto shop over here, but like I kind of need to loot around too. If I pull in here, can I do any kind of like upgrades or anything? So we got vehicle respawns. We got another crafting station over on this side. I need to find like saws and hammers and all that kind of stuff too. Until I find that stuff, there we go. So there's a hammer. I will make that right now. I did not, are my metal bars in the back of my truck? I was going to say, this is the exact reason why I carry my storage around with me. And then we had planks in there too. Let me make like a full suite of tools real fast. So for a wrench, we need 2 metal bars, but we need a screwdriver first. We already have the stuff for the scroogey. We got the stuff for that. We've got clamps over here. That requires metal components. We've got lug wrenches. We've got wire cutters, a hex key, and a paintbrush. Man, all kinds of tools and things. As far as modifications go, I can actually like upgrade my truck inside of here. I can make it like faster, but we got to find mysterious things called engine upgrade parts or something. Yeah, we need vehicle components in order to make that work. And so for the clamps and everything else, do I have metal components in the truck? I do have metal components inside the truck. So we can make the clamps right now. We can make the lug wrench. We need plastic in order to make that, but we can make the hex key, which is good. And then we don't have the paintbrush, but it looks like we can actually customize the color of our vehicle too. I'm going to go with a nice deep hunter green because to me that feels like the optimal color. That's just me personally. If I had my choice, everything would just be dark hunter green. Looked around the garage for a little bit because while we were able to make all of those extra tools in order to make our lives a little bit easier, unfortunately, the tools actually attached to the board over here. Oh, curious. So, like, the tools are effectively like an upgrade for the workbench. I was worried that they were going to be eating up all my inventory space because we are kind of limited on that front. But nope, not the way that it works. I need a small hammer to do anything with this bench over here. And unfortunately, we don't have a... Oh, there we go, tools. Small hammer? Maybe I just make a hammer over here and just, like, add it to the board. I'm fresh out of metal bars. I wanted to make myself some more ammo on this bench over here. But what I've noticed is the tools are an upgrade for the bench. And so you're going to have to do this for each bench that you build, no matter where you're at, like in your different bases. That way you can increase the amount of things that you can actually craft. As far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be a way to actually take those tools off of there and carry them with you and like transfer them in between benches. So for now, I think we're on the... Oh, nope. I think for now, we are on the scavenging life. We need to get out here and stop running into the wall and find some locations to, like, loot some things out of. Let's go have a look around and see if there's any question marks around. There's something due east of us right there. So, like, I'll probably custom pin that. And let's go see if we can find some more things that we can smelt off, because the game seems to be very concerned about the fact that I have not cleaned up my house yet and made it nicer and fixed like the floorboards and installed new laminate. Oh, a downed plane, huh? Okay. All right. Well, where would we be in the post-apocalypse if we didn't have at least one set piece around that was a downed plane? That's one of those like old classics right there. You've got to have the destroyed like 747 laying around somewhere. Truck's full, so no matter what we do after we get done here, I think we're going to have to head back to base and just, like, resupply. We do have a crate right there, but it requires a lockpick. I think I've got one in the truck, though. Let's check the rest of these canisters and containers. Yeah, plastic's good. That'll let me make the snips, actually, for our workbench back over there, which I did need. What's in this big fancy-looking crate over here? 18 bullets. Well, that solves my bullet problem straight off the rip, don't it? I was a little bit worried about my ammo supply. Now I'm no longer worried. And we got anything? God, it's dark, dude. Wish I had a flashlight. Definitely wish that I had a flashlight. I don't know if I should be checking all these aisles or what, but either way, another crate right there with a few more things. I'm going to have to smelt off some bars in order to... Rifle ammo on a plane? You managed to get that past the TSA, huh? Right now, that phrase probably just triggered like 1 million government watches on YouTube. What's that? The pilot's key. What does the pilot's key do? Is that like in my inventory? It's a quest item? Oh, there's like quests and stuff in the game? Okay, I'm gonna eat that avocado because like avocados go bad like instantaneously. And I just don't want to miss out on a... Listen, it's the post-apocalypse, all right? Avocados only grow in very specific environments, and if you are not in those very specific environments as a temperamental tree, there's a strong chance that I will never be allowed to have an avocado ever again for the rest of my life, and frankly, I need to savor this last one because avocado is one of my favorite things in the entire world. One of the best things the universe ever invented, the avocado. Inside it here, we got metal components and a battery. You put that behind a lock, huh? Okay. Are bad guys going to show up at any point? I'm honestly kind of surprised how laid back this has been so far. Like, I'm out at night right now, and the game made a big deal with its tutorialization being like, oh, yeah, dude, if you go out at night, you're going to die horribly. And I was like, I don't think I am. Like, I think I'm going to be fine. Let me go drop off my stuff at the house and see what we can accomplish to patch things up, and then... Now that I've come back to the house, it seems like they're sort of tutorializing me along the way. They want me to find a sawmill, and they want me to saw some logs. There's also, I found a note inside the house that said that my dad had an assistant named John that had a bunch of research paperwork that might be helpful. So we'll give that some thought, but what I really need to do is, I kind of went around the property already and tried to find all the logs and all the planks and all the everything else. I only found 3. And so I'm hoping we can load the logs in the back of the truck. That way, I mean, it does look like there's a loading area right there that's clear. Maybe we saw those into some planks. That way, I'm low on planks right now. So either we need to scavenge a location or we need to, like, saw some logs. And so... Why not, dude? Let's see how the sawmill functions. The game does have a very nice carrying animation for things like logs and larger stuff that you've actually got to ferry around. The monsters do come out, by the way. I slept to avoid the nighttime because it's just dark and it makes the footage look crappy. But at night, it seems like around midnight is when all the zombies come out. So frankly, I think they're doing like a little bit of a cozy thing with the game too. As far as chopping down trees goes, I don't know if we can do that. Like, I don't have an axe or anything. And so, oh, my hunger level's low. All right. Human beings need food. I completely and totally forgot. They also need water, which is actually pretty low. I'll just munch down on some apples. Probably gonna have to take a dump midway to the sawmill after eating 3 apples, but like, you know. It does look like we've got a fairly considerable drive in front of us. The good news about that fairly considerable drive, we head southwards on the road right here. It looks like there's a couple of points of interest down there that we can maybe briefly ogle to figure out how useful they're gonna be. There's a dead guy in the road on the way down here. Dead guy on the road? What'd you have? I used to train regularly at the military base, but over time it became overcrowded. New recruits kept pouring in. Command eventually set up a separate training camp near the checkpoint to handle the overflow. It is fully equipped with ammunition and supplies. Before we left, we had a weapons locker with an electronic lock. The access code is 9761. If you find it, take what you need. You'll need it more than we did. Nice, dude. See, that's a bro right. What the hell is that thing? What is it? Get it out of here. Little mud crab looking freak. What are you? Oh, raw mutant crab. Yeah, I should definitely shove that inside my digestional tract. That probably won't cause any form of discomfort. That right there, that's a real nice gazebo right there. Somebody spent a whole bunch of time and effort making that gazebo right there. I wish I had a gazebo. I ain't got no gazebo on my property. If I had a gazebo, I bet I'd be living a charmed-ass life, brother. That's what I figure. Oh, the map's got like a mothball fleet out here, dude. That reminds me of growing up here in the Bay Area, like in San Francisco. Used to be out by Benicia, there was like a whole bunch of World War II ships that they just moored out there after the war and chained them all together like in one big form. And like, I don't know, over the last 30 years or so, they've broke down the mothball fleet. It's not there anymore because it was leaking mercury into the ocean and like it was causing problems. And so they were finding really elevated mercury levels for the fish that were coming out of there. Oh, look, more. Is that a soldier? Who is that dude? Hold up. There's a guy over there. Is he going to shoot at me? I don't know if he's going to shoot at me. I don't know if I should, like, light him up or not, man. This is like one of the... I mean, he doesn't look hostile. Did he go in here? Where'd he go? Oh, no, I think he's hostile. I think he's definitely hostile. He pointed his gun at me, all right? That's all that it takes. I got a hair trigger, man. You know, like, I spent long enough in Section 8 to know, like, when somebody tries to wheel that thing, you just got to unload. No hesitation. That's how you end up on a T-shirt or a brick wall downtown. Shotgun. Can I have his shotgun? He clearly has an over-under shotgun in his possession. Can I have that? Is this guy wearing a DevTac Ronin? I think he is, dude. You guys remember that helmet? They were publishing all kinds of ads about that stupid thing, like, God, like 2018, 2019. It was supposedly like the first future soldier's ballistic helmet, and they were like really, really trying to sell it to the military and whatnot. To be fair, the DevTac Ronin does look cool as hell. However, as it turns out, it wasn't a very good helmet, and so like it's one of those weird things that kind of fell by the wayside. It's kind of like circa like 2009, 2010, like every single first-person shooter had that XM whatever like assault rifle in it because the United States Army was like thinking about adopting it like it was in the running for the next generation of battle rifle. But then like they didn't pick it and then it disappeared from all sources and media and everything else and then you never saw it again. It's weird how something can be in the zeitgeist for like a considerable chunk of time, like years, and then just vanish like that, and then you completely forget about it later on down the line. Is this our little sawmill over here? What we got going on at the sawmill? Another dead guy is what we got going on down here. So there's a melting station. Kind of ammo is that? Rifle ammo? Oh, nice, dude. We found the weapons locker. 9761 was the code. No electricity. Oh, there's no electricity in the Jenny, dude. We gotta find a fuel can. Okay, what's his note say? Central Laboratory is where some of the island's most crucial experiments were conducted. The wall and energy shield were put in place to restrict access to the research taking place there. As the experiments were considered vital to the island's future, the area had to be protected from external threats or sabotage, and the shield ensured that any dangerous substances or unstable materials remained contained. You rhymed that on purpose, didn't you? You rhymed that on purpose. All right, so we got like paint cans. What we really... Ooh, logs. Nice, dude. I need these. Throw these in the truck. Yeah. I don't got... Ooh, there's a zombie over here, too. Can I dink him from here? I don't know if I dinked him from there. I don't know. Put a couple across his ass cheek, man. Let him feel it. Let him feel the fizzle, the snap, the pop, and the burn. I think we hit him because he only died in one bullet right there. So I don't know if we have limited range on any of the stuff that we're shooting. Where am I right now? So there's a quest for the train. I'm not even at the lumber mill, dude. I got a different quest and it auto-tracked it from that dead guy we found in the road. That's what happened. Okay, so to get into the ammo locker, I was here to cut logs. That's what I was here. Oh my god, I went completely and totally in the wrong direction. There's a whole city on the way to the sawmill. Probably a really solid looting opportunity, but my truck's completely and totally full right. Oh, dude, another load of logs and everything. I can kind of see where I can see what they're getting at with this game. Like, I can see what they're going for. So another similar title that we played recently was a game called We Harvest Shadows. It's a game that, at its core, it's a farming simulator. Like, it's a game where you're running a farm and you're like selling your eggs and you're selling your chickens, but your farmhouse is horrendously haunted. And so there's sort of like a tonal shift in the game between like the daytime phase, which is sort of like la-di-da-di-da and kind of like a cozy farming game, and the nighttime phase where you're like trying to sleep as like paintings fall off the wall and like the paintings change to like zombies that are pointing at what they want you to farm next, and if you ignore them, they get upset about it and they come after you. It seems to me like this game is trying to do something somewhat similar, where you've got your daytime phase where you're mostly just putt-putting around the map and you're like preparing stuff and you're fixing up your farmhouse, and then you're going through and, oh, there's like 2 saw tables over here. How much fuel do we have? Hell was that noise? Ow! Die! How dare you? I got something for everybody, bro. I got this smoke out here. Who wants some? You came to the wrong sawmill wearing those colors, bro. You in the wrong place right now. Yeah, you too. You get it. Yeah, you can get it too. We out here taking lives. We murderers. But back to the point that I was originally explaining before a murderous rage overtook me. I can see what they're going for here. So they've got the core pieces in play. Like, I think they're in a decent spot for an early access right now. Like, it feels a little empty. It feels a little underpopulated. Like, the threats don't actually feel genuine from what I've seen so far. Like, I haven't been too worried about cruising through the game world. But then again, we haven't really tried to cruise through the game world at night. I saw that silhouette. There's something out here. I saw it. I done seen it with my eyeballs. There we go, just drop him too. Just putting all kinds of bodies on the board. Like, I can see what they're going for. As it stands right now, there's some room for improvement. I do think that, like, the gun ballistics and whatnot could be a little bit better. A little bit better feeling. I definitely think there's an opportunity here for eating animations. Things that, in general, make the game feel a little bit more immersive and a little bit more lived in. I do think the game should press up on the player a little bit harder. Like, I was expecting a little bit more of, like, a Dead Island type experience where going out to saw your logs, man, it's gonna be dangerous. Good luck, you know, like getting back with a load of logs to me, or like with a load of planks for fixing up your house, kind of felt like the sort of thing that I should have to fight and struggle for. This may just be a misalignment of expectation. Maybe the game leans a little bit further in the cozier direction than it does in like the actual zombie survival direction. But thus far, actually, I haven't been crazy annoyed by anything that I ever saw. Like, my vehicle got stuck like twice, but it didn't really matter because there's a button that you press while driving around that I assume is going to be there for the remainder of like the early access, where you just push the button and it puts you back on the road and you're like good to go. So it wasn't really that big of a hang up or anything else like that. I mean, there are logical inconsistencies and stuff like that. Like, I can't chop down trees from what I've seen so far. Like, you're totally at the mercy of just like what you can scavenge off the map. And frankly, it doesn't look like there's a load of content in here. We've been playing for about an hour, and I've pretty much hit everything down the peninsula this way. We know there's a city right there, so on and so forth. We do have upgrades inside the house. However, the game does not have free build from what I've seen so far. If that's what you're looking for, you're mostly just playing House Flipper in your house with the stuff that you're going through and scavenging from the world map. If that sounds appealing to you, you can check it out, but just be forewarned that the world feels very, very empty right right now to my eye. That's like the main thing that I've noticed is you mostly just kind of drive around uncontested, and there's nothing forcing you to go out at night. From what I understand from the presser they sent over, there are certain areas of the map that you can only get into at nighttime because like the shield power's down or whatever, but we would have to get further on into the game in order to check that on out, and at that point I think we'd be stepping into review territory, and I like myself comfortably in first impressions territory. So my first impressions as it stands right now is that the game has a decent foundation to build on top of, but in order to keep me playing as a player, I think the world needs to get a lot more threatening, it needs to get a lot more immersive, and we will wait and see if those things happen over the course of this game's early access. But on the plus side, I haven't had any bugs, I haven't had any falling through the world, I haven't had any weird wonky things happening either along the way, no crashes, anything else. The actual frame rate itself has been rock solid all the way through the game. I haven't even had a tiny hitch this entire time, even as I transfer in between areas, and I know that it's got to be like caching shaders or loading or whatever. So on the optimization front, it seems to be doing decently well, and so this is one of those ones that I'll wait and see with. For right now, I don't think the world is action-packed enough to keep me like playing it non-stop. However, I do enjoy games that allow me to fix stuff up and renovate things and make places nicer. I have an ungodly amount of hours in like House Flipper. I also enjoy zombie apocalypse stuff and shooting at bad guys and things of that nature. So like we'll have to wait and see, I guess. For right now though, it's in an okay spot. We'll see what they build on top of it. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day. Today we were checking out a game called Outbreak Island. Actually, considering the demo that I played a couple years ago, the game has shown enormous improvement over the last couple years. It shows that the developers haven't been sitting on their hands the entire time. I'll give them that little olive branch right there. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping on in, and that's all I got for you, folks. Bye.